Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. Today I'm going to be talking some more about the mysterious postcards, plural, that I talked about in my last video. I talked about the one that my friend Boomstick Joe had gotten, and at the time I didn't realize to what scale this ARG, I'm sure it's an ARG, it's somebody's ARG, is. It's very big. A lot of people have gotten the cards across social media and across the country and in the UK. We're going to talk about it, and also, if it has anything to do with No Man's Sky. There is a lot of evidence, in my opinion, that it may be related to No Man's Sky. Obviously, people are naysaying and saying that no, it's probably just some other ARG, which is also likely. We're going to talk about both evidence against it being part of No Man's Sky and the evidence for it. But first, I want to show you the different postcards. Several YouTube channels have shown theirs. Some people who own YouTube channels got them and showed them in videos. First, I'm going to show you Boomstick Joe's card again that I showed in a previous video. So yeah, we already saw that one, so I won't talk about it much. But next, I want to show you one that a YouTube channel showed. Now, this one is very intriguing to me, and the reason is because of the hexagon. Hexagons are very common in No Man's Sky. It's what the door to the Atlas station is, and hexagons were used very heavily in the Waking Titan ARG. In fact, I remember arguing with people on Reddit back before we knew that the Waking Titan ARG was No Man's Sky. I was telling them there's all these hexagons in the Waking Titan stuff, and they're like, hexagons are extremely common shape. They're in nature, and they're in lots of man-made things, etc., etc. People telling me why it was not related to No Man's Sky. But that, to me, is a calling card, pun not intended, that this could very well be related to No Man's Sky. The fact that they used a hexagon on one of the cards. Okay, here's another one of the cards that a YouTuber showed. And not much more to say about that one. It's a different shape. It has they all have the same phone number on them, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And then there's a new Reddit for They're Coming, r/They're Coming, which very much reminds me of the Waking Titan ARG, because when the Waking Titan ARG started, there was a r/Waking Titan Reddit, like right after it started. Obviously, that happens a lot with ARGs. New subreddits pop up for ARGs, but it's very reminiscent of Waking Titan, the fact that a subreddit for this ARG popped up so quickly. But from that subreddit, I got this image that has all of the postcards, or at least all of the postcards that people have submitted their images of. And unfortunately, I forgot to show another one of the images. Let me show you one more that's of two postcards that are usually come together. Everybody that's gotten these postcards have gotten two postcards. Some people have gotten three postcards. I don't know what those postcards look like, but these two postcards I'm about to show you always are always received together. So yeah, several people that I saw on YouTube got those two postcards. I don't know why those two are paired together, but that's just how they did it. So yeah, so there's all these different postcards that people are receiving. Now, let's talk about the evidence against this being No Man's Sky. the reason that made me suspicious and other people are suspicious is that it's so big. This is a really big ARG, or it feels like a really big ARG, because so many people have gotten these cards, and I've heard rumors that there's like a billboard or something in some major city in America that has to do with this. It seems too big to be Hello Games. Hello Games is a small indie company, and although they do have millions of dollars because No Man's Sky has gotten really popular, and well, they made millions of dollars when No Man's Sky first released, but I think they've continued to make quite a bit of money because the game's gotten more popular and more positive popularity as they've improved the game. So Hello Games definitely have the money that they could do this, but would they really want to do this large scale of a thing? To counter that point, I will mention that Sean Murray, right after the beachhead expedition, after the Normandy was revealed, there was a blog post on No Man's Sky's website that Sean Murray said at the end, we have some more surprise. He said, since this is the 5th anniversary of No Man's Sky, we have some more surprises for you, that there will be more information coming very soon. So the timing of that's one of the biggest pieces of evidence for this being No Man's Sky, is the timing of it. Like, these postcards started to be received by people right after the Normandy was revealed in the No Man's Sky beachhead expedition, and like right after Sean Murray did that blog post. It was like they were sent out in the mail right after Sean Murray said, we've got some more surprises coming. Now, some more evidence against it being No Man's Sky is there's a lot of suspicions about who it was sent by. A lot of people think it was sent by IM 8-bit, which that's kind of evidence for and against that it's No Man's Sky. Hello Games used IM 8-bit to make their special model ship back when No Man's Sky first came out. There was this model ship that you could get for buying the special edition of No Man's Sky. And that was kind of a controversial thing, too. After the game came out, a lot of people were mad, not just about No Man's Sky, but also those ships took forever to be sent. It was like 6 months to a year before people finally got those ships from IM 8-bit. And I think I've heard... I thought that Hello Games were still using IM 8-bit for their merch, but apparently they're not. Somebody told me that they no longer use IM 8-bit for their merch. So IM 8-bit kind of links it to Hello Games, except for the fact that they no longer use IM 8-bit. Unless they decided to use them again, I don't know. But I wouldn't use IM 8-bit after they took 6 months to a year to finally get those model ships out to players. But anyway, another thing that people think this is Coldplay for some reason. They think it's a Coldplay ARG. Coldplay is a band. I've never heard their music, or if I have, I didn't know it was Coldplay music. People are going to be mad at me at that because Coldplay is really popular, but I just haven't heard much of them. I know MZK, another No Man's Sky YouTuber, likes Coldplay, but for some reason that's been somewhat linked to it, or at least on the Coldplay discussion forum. I can't remember if it's Reddit or not, but some Coldplay discussion forum, people were discussing these cards. But it might just be a coincidence that, you know, some people that got the cards happen to be Coldplay fans, and so they thought it was a Coldplay thing. A lot of the people who have gotten them are not Coldplay fans. But for both of these, IM 8-bit and Coldplay, it's not the case for everyone. Some people who've ordered from IM 8-bit have gotten the cards, but not everyone who's gotten the cards have ordered from IM 8-bit, and not everyone who's gotten the cards are Coldplay fans. In fact, very few people who've gotten the cards are Coldplay fans, as far as I know. So those things may either not be linked, or whoever sent them out to people who aren't connected to them, so that they would be advertising for whatever this ARG is for. So let's move on a bit from all that, and I want to let you listen to the noise from the here. Let's see. I'm going to turn off all my sounds. Let's see. Is that in general options? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to turn off all my music and sound effects so that it doesn't interfere with you hearing this. I'm going to call the number that are on all the postcards. It's a number in Roswell, New Mexico, which is another piece of evidence for this because, No Man's Sky has aliens and this is alien related. But anyway, yeah, this phone number goes to a phone in Roswell, New Mexico, and it plays a message which is very weird sounding. And yeah, I'll let you listen to it first. So I'm going to call it and put it on speakerphone. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. And the call just ends after 28 seconds. So I don't know if you could hear that or not. There was a lot of weird static and stuff. But in that, very clearly, somebody says there is something weird going on. Which, when I first heard that, I thought, that seems kind of unprofessional. Because, Allison Smith did the Waking Titan ARG, and there wasn't anything like corny like that, like someone saying there is something weird going on. When I first heard that and I called this number, I thought, oh, this is kind of a small scale ARG. This is just one person. Like some ARGs are just one person doing an ARG just to get attention or whatever. And their stuff will kind of be amateurish. That recording saying there's something weird going on sounded amateurish to me. But then the fact that there are so many postcards going out and maybe billboards, this is definitely a very professional, large-scale ARG. So the fact that that person said there's something weird going on, I guess, isn't amateurish, even though it kind of sounds like it. But anyway, it's all very mysterious. And I will say that in the Waking Titan ARG, we were pointed to Area 51, which makes it seem maybe it's the same kind of thing. But ARGs often do this. ARGs often point to mysterious places. And in the UK, some people have gotten the card in the UK. And in the UK, rather than pointing to Roswell, New Mexico, it points to... the coordinates point to Stonehenge. And the fact that people in the UK are getting it, I think, is more evidence that it could be No Man's Sky because, of course, Hello Games is in the UK. But yeah, sorry, this has been all over the place. There's a lot of evidence that it could be No Man's Sky, and there's a lot of evidence that it might not be No Man's Sky. Currently, we don't know for sure. So, personally, I'm biased, and I want it to be No Man's Sky. To me, the biggest piece of evidence is that hexagon on one of the cards. But as people will tell you, hexagons are extremely common in nature and man-made things. But I'm going to keep assuming that it's No Man's Sky until we find out otherwise. The biggest pieces of evidence are that hexagon, also the timing of it, because Sean Murray said that we have some surprises coming, and then in the next couple days, people started getting these postcards. So it really seems like, to me, there's too many coincidences. There's no confirmation yet, but it was the same way with the Waking Titan ARG. The Waking Titan ARG, there was too many coincidences, the word Atlas being mentioned, hexagons being shown, etc. There was too many things that were linking it to No Man's Sky. Oh, and the thing that originally linked Waking Titan to No Man's Sky was that they used a comm station in No Man's Sky for it. And people said that, oh, that's just some other ARG hijacking No Man's Sky by using a No Man's Sky comm station for their ARG. But of course, we found out that it definitely was No Man's Sky. Waking Titan was the No Man's Sky ARG. We haven't gotten any evidence of that strong yet that this is linked to No Man's Sky. But like I said, the timing of it and that hexagon and maybe IM 8-bit, maybe Hello Games used IM 8-bit again to send out these cards. I don't know. Time will only tell. Tell me what you think. Do you think this is No Man's Sky related, or am I barking up the wrong tree? Until we have absolute confirmation, I'm going to continue to assume that this is a No Man's Sky ARG. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But for now, I've been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything's going to be okay. Special thanks to my monthly supporters, Shannon and Jeremy, Shell Owens, JSpot51, Meg Payton. Thank you so much for helping me continue to make daily content.